Mistake number 3, too many advisors. All you need is new beginnings.
Right. Too many advisors is really important. But all new research says that the more choice we're given, the less chance we have of choosing. So the more people you go and ask the same question to and get different answers, the less chance you have of actually taking an action step. So my advice is you should have one primary mentor and maybe a couple other people to bounce stuff off of. And just that's it, because you know what? Everybody has their own opinion and everything works, but you have to find somebody that matches your personality, that has a practice that you would like to have, and then find out what they're doing, how they're doing it, and then figure out how you can incorporate all that into your own practice. And there are a lot of mentors out there that are more excited about you succeeding than you are. Like, you know, when I mentor people, I see the potential in them that they don't see yet. So my job is to bring it out. You know, I'm excited about their growth. I'm not excited about my growth. And I also know that the more I help a young doctor out there, the better it is for me. I feel better about what I'm doing. But you got to give yourself, you got to cut down the choices to like 2 to 3 choices, because after that, it just gets more and more complicated. You get conflicting messages, and when all those messages, you wind up becoming totally inactive and get frustrated.
Yeah. So to take a little bit of a sidestep here on the topic, though, at New Beginnings, I know you have that speed coaching, and that's something you guys implemented that meant a lot to me. What other resources are there at New Beginnings beside the webinars that we're holding now for students?
I think the coolest thing is everybody at New Beginnings is approachable.
Yeah, that's true.
So what you need to do is to be able to step out of your comfort zone, and if you can step out of your comfort zone and actually go up to any one of the doctors, any of the speakers, you can say, listen, I need help in this. Would you talk to me? And most of the time they will. And, you know, or call me, or I'll give you feedback, or I'll send you my forms, whatever it is. Almost all the New Beginning doctors that I know of are more than happy to share stuff. It's like the old days when I was in practice. We didn't need 400 management consultants and coaches because what we had were friends who had friends who did all this, and they would share everything. So I think New Beginnings is getting us back into, like, let's share the wealth and have everybody grow.
Right. On top of it, you just get all the philosophical motivation you'd need there, too. Mistake number 4 is out of focus.
Again, when we start practice, we're so concerned with so many different things going on, you need to pick one thing to focus on. And to me, the most important thing to focus on when you're starting a new practice is accumulating new patients. All right? And then the second most important thing is keeping those new patients. And then everything else will fall into place. If you focus on serving the people and taking care of them, the money's going to follow. You know, if you're always worried about the dollars and the cents and where it's coming from, and you're looking at patients, you know, you get scattered. So, you know, if you have a plan, you know how to attract patients, you improve on your communication skills, you tell stories, you know how to give an elevator speech, which, you know, in 60 seconds tell people what chiropractic is. You give a good orientation, you give great workshops, you give great report of findings, you do a nice financial plan. You focus on each one of those pieces and you practice them until you own them. And then you don't have to think about them.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, so you need to be really clear in your intention and what you're focusing on. And like one of the things I say to all young docs, I said, describe your perfect patient. Right? If you don't know what your perfect patient is, what are you going to attract into your office? Anybody. So, I mean, really write down in explicit detail, you know, the gender, the age, the type of health problems they have, or whether they're coming in for wellness, whether they have insurance or it's a cash practice. But really, you know, get it down to the, you know, the nth little, you know, piece of information as to what your perfect patient is. So when you're having an intention on attracting people in, you know what you're attracting.
All right. One of the things when you said your elevator speech, that's really important. I think when kind of one of the first tips we talked about was getting involved in the community and pre-promoting, I think it was called.
Yeah.
So when you get out in front of the DNI group or in front of the chamber or whoever, and you have a minute to tell them, here's what I do. Yeah, I'll put you on the spot a little bit here. We can edit it out if you want. But what is your 60-second speech that a new student that might be hearing this, they can take it, put it in their back pocket, and fake it till they make it.
Okay, so here's my favorite answer to that, because I lecture down at Life University a lot to the classes and the students, and we talk about the elevator speech, and everybody wants mine, and I don't give it. The reason I don't give it is people get too caught up in scripts, and so they use my words, and it's like, it's like a parrot. So you have to come up with an elevator speech that represents the way you feel, think, and act in practice. And the guidelines I'll give you, you have to come up with the speech has to say, this is what chiropractic is, and this is why you need to come see me, as compared to anybody else. So take that and write it and write it and rewrite it until you get something that goes, wow, I could say that and I own it. So no, you can't get my elevator speech.
The most important thing you would say then is whatever it is that you're going to say, make sure you own it.
Make sure you own it and come from the heart. I mean, people know when you're screwing around. So it should be a good story about, about chiropractic, about you, and be passionate about it when you tell it.
All right. Well, if you're a student or new to practice, you have all the time in the world before you open your doors to practice that.
And practice it on everybody you know, especially
Exactly.
family, because they're the ones that are most difficult to talk to. Impatience, like principle number 6 is there's no process that does not take time.
Right.
And what I find a lot of times with young docs also, they'll start building a practice, and if it's not growing fast enough for them, they'll pick up and move someplace else, and then they'll pick up and move someplace else, or they'll go to another associateship, or go to another associateship, or whatever it is. And it's like a fruit tree. It takes 2 years to bear fruit. But if you rip it out of the ground every year to replant it, maybe there's a better place, maybe it's greener over there. Every time you replant it, it still takes 2 years to bear fruit. So my feeling is grow where you plant it. In other words, give yourself, 3 to 5 years in any location to make a difference. Right. And know that it's much better to have a slow, steady build in practice than a tremendous explosion and then an implosion.
Right.
Which I've seen with a lot of people that start off, they get these huge practices and then they crash. Right? Mm-hmm. Where the people who are slow and steady, they build lifetime patience, and that's the key. So it's not that you get 100 patients in a screening. It's how many of them do you keep? Right. So if you're doing 100 patients and you get to keep 10, well, maybe if you focus on 12 coming in and you get to keep 10, you don't have to put all that effort out, and throw stuff away. So I think you really need to be patient, and you got to build a strong foundation. Part of the foundation is new beginnings and the philosophy. Part of the foundation is getting confidence in yourself. Part of the foundation is getting people to trust you by being sincere and open and letting them be part of your life. That's what you need to do. You got to grow those deep roots before the tree's going to bear fruit.
That's beautiful. That's a principle that will never change. Let me ask you this. It just came to mind. This might be some bonus material. But what is it that I've seen it too, doctors, they go and they open a practice in the wrong area for them. And so they never really feel like settling down. What is it, how do you suggest a doctor find the location to practice? I know for me that was a big thing when I was getting out of school. Where I can go anywhere. Where should I go?
I think the first place is to find the place you want to live. If you want to live someplace, it becomes easier to grow practice there. A great example, I think it was Wayne Dyer tells a story. He was out running one day, and somebody came up to him and goes, "Oh, you're Wayne Dyer." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I read your books. I love you." He goes, "I just moved here. What are the people like in this neighborhood?" And Wayne asked him, he goes, "Well, what was it like where you moved from?" He goes, "Oh, they were nasty. They weren't nice people. I couldn't wait to get out of there. They were catty." And his answer was, "Well, you're probably going to find a lot of the same people here." The next day he's running, and somebody else comes up to him and does the same thing, and Wayne asks the same question. "Well, what was it like where you came from?" He goes, "Oh, we really hated leaving. We had such a great relationship there, but my job changed, and I had to move, but the people were so nice and friendly and great." And Wayne goes, "Well, you know what? You're probably going to find the same people here." So you got to find a place that you're happy in, and then grow there, because my favorite line is, no matter where you go, there you are. So, right. If you have a rotten energy and a rotten practice, you can be in the best neighborhood in the world and not succeed. I mean, I look at where I practice on Central Park West. I see so many chiropractors come in and go out of practice in my neighborhood because they're not city people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not where they want to be. They don't they don't like that energy. They can't wait to get out of the city. Where
Right.
me, I love the city. I love the energy and love that, and so my practice has been able to flourish for 33 years.
Right.
So first find a place you want to be, and then then you'll be able to grow a practice of your dreams.
Amazing. Let's talk about high overhead. That's Central Park West.
We don't even want to talk about overhead.
As high as it gets. Hey, but you're making it work, which is why everybody needs to listen to you. So what's next? Promote, simplify, mirror. What is all this?
Well, just real simple things. Promote. BJ said early to bed, early to rise, work like hell and advertise. Too many young doctors want to work 2.5, 3 days a week and then don't want to do any other work. It's like, it's long, Sid used to say long days and sleepless nights, to make a great practice. You got to work it. No, people aren't coming to you. You got to attract them or go to them. Simplify. Like I said before, make every dollar work as hard as it can. It's not what you collect, it's what you take home that counts. I coach people and have $1 million practices and take home, a tenth in take home. So they have a $900,000 overhead. You're working your butt off for nothing.
Right.
All right. Mirror your mentor. Real simple. Find out what works, or find someone that's doing it, and then do everything that they do. And then if you want to improve on it, you can tweak it a little bit. But just match and mirror. Become whatever. If somebody else has already done it, then you can do it. But
right.
you got to do what they do. You want to. I laugh. I hear so many people want high volume practices, but only want to work 4 hours a day. And they want. So when they sit down with a calculator, I said, okay, that means you need to see 62 people every 2 minutes. Their numbers don't work out. So you have to know what you're looking for. And again, the laser beam, the sharper you focus, the more precise results. You get what you focus on. If you're looking for stuff not to work, it's not going to work. If you're looking for stuff to work, you'll get the solutions. And then my favorite is patience leads to patience. Mm-hmm. Take the time to grow and nurture and have the practice that you want. Let the process unfold. There are people that will help you by giving you better fertilizer. There are people that will help you by telling you when to water. There are people to help you that tell you when to rotate the crop. But it all takes patience. You can't rush it. You can't get the chicken by cracking the egg. You have to let it hatch by itself. So let life unfold.
All right. Well, if you want to come out to the New Beginnings Chiropractic Weekends seminars, what you need to do is go and register. You can either go to the NB Chiro website, the New Beginnings website, or you can go right to the blog. And the blog address is New Beginnings Chiropractic Philosophy.blogspot.com. And on the seminar or the webinar page, you'll see seminar registration right here. Also, you can look for upcoming news and events, any news and updates, some testimonials from doctors. And this is if you go to here, you can see the New Beginnings home. That'll take you to the actual website. Either way, you can register straight from here, or you can go to the New Beginnings page and also register from there. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Share all this stuff on your Facebook and Twitter pages, and subscribe to our blog.